Welcome, Hans Blix. So, on the 20th of March, it will be 20 years since the international coalition led by the United States and the United Kingdom invaded Iraq. How was it to work with Iraq at the time? How was the situation?
Well, the inspectors had been thrown out in 1998, and there had been no inspections during 1999, and at the end of that year, the Security Council was really on the way to wind up the Iraq inspections. And they then appointed a succeeding commission, UNMOVIC, of which I became a chairman, and we had the task of clearing up what's called the remaining disarmament issues. And if and when we were able to do that, then the Security Council planned to suspend further sanctions. But then happened the 9/11 in 2001, and the inspections then took on a different color. The US started this war on terror, and there were groups in the US who felt that they must take out Saddam Hussein, and they began to prepare for that. And in the summer of 2002, they also began a military build-up outside Iraq. And in the autumn of 2002, the Iraqis accepted inspection, and we started them in November of 2002. And by the time of the attack, then we had carried out about 700 inspections on the ground and about 30 inspections on sites which had been given to us by the US and by the UK, and we had found no weapons of mass destruction. We had found some missiles that had longer reach than they allowed, and we ordered them to be destroyed, and they were destroyed, but we didn't find any. And we reported that to the Security Council.
And how did you feel at the time when the invasion took place? Did you feel that your whole work was instrumentalized or not taken serious?
No, I felt a great emptiness, I must say. We had been geared up, and we had been very intensely working. We had lived 100% in this. And then came the invasion, and it was like, well, that was the end. There was total emptiness. But of course, we were interested in seeing, will the US now find the weapons that they have claimed should be there? And Colin Powell had testified in the Security Council. So there were some weeks that we wondered, will they find something? And as the days went by, they said no, they were wrong and we were right.
Is there anything we have learned from the time, or is there anything we are still fully missing?
Well, I mean, Cheney had predicted that they would be met by people giving flowers on their tanks. And I think that one of the lessons of the Iraq War is the need for attachment to facts. And this is what inspection is about. You need impartial civil servants under the authority of the Security Council looking for facts. Cheney was convinced, and there were people on the Republican side who said, we are now so powerful that we can create our own facts. Well, frankly, I find a parallel in Putin today in the Ukraine. He was also convinced that Russian soldiers would be met as denazifiers and disarmers. And he was totally wrong on the fact. I don't know what the Russian intelligence brought him, if it was as faulty as the American intelligence was. But attention to facts is really important, and nowhere is more important than in international relations on peace and war. The illusions and the misconceptions on the other side led to total disaster. Now you can ask what would have happened if Saddam had remained, if they had not carried out the war. Well, Saddam was a terrible figure, and he was punished for many things he did. But I think that the case shows that anarchy can be worse than terror. I think another lesson is that foreign interventions in general has proved very negative.
And if we take as a final point from your personal experience, the months you were in Iraq, did your team experience any peculiar situation which you are thinking back as which was a turning point or something which was a special moment at the time?
Well, I think that was in the beginning of February 2003, because in January 2003 I was also skeptical about the Iraqis. They had given us a declaration of 12,000 pages, and that didn't reveal anything very significant. And I felt that they were not wholeheartedly and genuinely proactively helping to clear up the question marks that we had. And I said so. And the US felt that that's fine. Blix is suspecting that he'll find something. But we warned the Iraqis, and in very clear terms, and they also changed in themselves. I said, you said you destroyed all this in 1991. And I said, can you not bring the people to help you destroy? Can we interview them? You must have some records if you destroy so much. Can't we see the records? And I think they became more helpful. Of course, we didn't trust them. It was for them. We had no reason to trust them. But they realized that they had to be more active, and they became more proactive. And I reported that. I said I wasn't convinced they had to go further, but nevertheless, that was a big change. But it was too late. They should have done so from the very beginning.
Thank you really, Hans, for all what you have shared, and we look forward to your book being out on that as well. Thank you really.
You're welcome.